We're back. No
Yay!
clap from you, but from me.
Yes.
Yay. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I was editing our last video and it was making me laugh, so it's been a good day. Mom's at the Scottish Games.
She's at
I'm
the
saying
Scottish Games.
there you go. I was waiting for the accent.
Best of luck to you.
I was washing the car and doing housework. So that's my Saturday.
Awesome. Stay at
Well,
home dad.
stay home? Yes. How's your and watching the boys? Oh no, they're
Oh
being
no.
bad.
Of course
Yeah.
they are.
How's your day?
It's been good. Let's see what today's our laundry day. So,
Okay.
and okay. So John has a lot of laundry that he goes through.
Nice. Well, that's okay. No. Yes.
No,
No.
again, these are just things that I'm learning about him, and I'm learning to just adapt to him.
Awesome.
So he's a big man, and he has a lot of big clothes, and so I'm sorry, it's
It's
just
a funny sounding thing. Go ahead. Keep going.
sorry, no,
Sorry.
it's just like he's nearly a foot taller than me, okay?
That's true.
And, he's like 2 times my weight. He's just a bigger guy, that's just and I also am aware that I'm like a natural just me as myself am like a smaller person.
Oh, and your
Um
clothes are lighter. You like lighter
I
clothes,
like lighter
like thin.
clothes.
So his.
But the thing is with John, even if he does choose lighter clothing, they just end up a lot heavier because they're so much bigger. I'm sorry, John's not gonna love this episode because I'm just like, so my giant husband. No, but so like when I fill up, like a laundry basket, you put mine in and it like fills up halfway, right?
Yeah, and it all
John
compresses
fills up a
down because it's so
laundry
thin.
basket and it's spilling over. So today and I didn't think about this. So today, we both have laundry to do, and I'm like, oh well, mine's like relatively full, but I don't really take up a whole lot in the laundry machine. So I'm like, oh, we can add them in, and he was like, are you sure? And I was like, I'm thinking like, what's the big deal, man? It's we can combine our laundry. It's fine. We'll just sort through them. He's like, okay, and he pours them all in, and then he has like so we have to squish it down.
That's like me in college. I used to do that. In college, I used to wait so long that I'm like, oh, that's a lot of laundry.
That's a lot. No, but this is like a week. Oh, like
Yeah, yours
okay,
is
for me it
normal.
was a week. For him, like he had skipped a week, so
Oh.
technically this was a lot more than
Well, you
usual.
should have done your laundry for your husband.
Yeah,
Supposed to
dude.
do laundry
Okay,
for you.
So sometimes when he comes back from his runs,
Uh-huh.
he's very he is a very sweaty man as well. Sorry, this is just the episode where I'm just like, so my husband is huge and he is sweaty. No, he sweats a lot, which is really good. But then he comes home and I'm like, oh wow, what is that smell? That's horrible.
That's
Um,
like your dad. Mom says that all the time.
yeah. Yeah, but he comes back. I'm like, okay, you really need to wash off because like there was like normally it doesn't like bother me to the point where I'm like physically affected, but today for some reason like I had just made lunch for us and like I had it all set up, and then he comes in, I get a whiff of him, and I gagged for the first time, and he was just like, and he was like, oh, sweetie, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm sorry, you need a shower. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This has never happened. But yeah, so I gagged and I made my husband go and take a quick shower before we had lunch.
So, that brings a question to me. How are you eating? Because that's always
Oh
one of
yes,
our things.
I'm eating very well.
Oh, good.
I am having my morning smoothies, and then I'm having a full lunch and supper with John. So
Awesome. That's good. Good to
yes.
hear it. Um, and any new recipes or anything you've cooked this week or same
Chicken
stuff?
Alfredo, that was
Chicken fry.
fun.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
And
chicken
any
Alfredo,
other?
and then, honestly, like, half the time, like, any new recipes that come up are just based off of what we get on sale at Kroger's, so
Okay.
if he sees something new that happens to be on sale, he's like, "Hey, you wanna try making something with this?" I'm like, "I've never Sure. Okay. So he got like a bunch of like bratwurst sausages. So he's been making hot dogs, and
Uh-huh.
then he got a bunch of salmon, and so I've been making some salmon dishes, with like rice and pasta and things like that. And then there was a sale for pasta sauces again, so it was like, all right, here we go. But instead of just barrels and barrels of marinara sauce. It was, a mix of marinara, like some pesto sauces, some white sauces, those types of things.
Okay.
So, yes.
Oh, good, good. So, otherwise, how's the artist doing? Oh, I saw a picture. We'll have to share. But Belle, your kitty, that she is warming up to you. She now sits in your chair when you're not there, and then she
Yes,
like she
and
was.
she shows
I s-
she shows her belly.
yes, that was the most unique pic. I'd never seen her in anything other than the normal Belle face. That was
Yeah,
like
just
first
the
time in a loaf. I've never seen
yes.
her in any other position. That was a brand new position I've never seen her in.
Oh, no, 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 John like, Belle, whenever she's comfortable around people, she will just show her belly and just sprawl out kind of like our cat Mochi.
Oh, but I've
Yeah.
never seen that for me. I've never seen that.
I've never witnessed it in person, so this
Okay.
was that was fun.
Ah,
Yes,
so
yes.
she's accepting you.
She has, yes, and now it's that thing of like, "Oh, why is my seat warm?" "Oh, because Belle is here." Sweet.
Nice.
Yes. Anyway, the artist. John has been helping me work on my website,
Okay.
so got that going.
Nice.
And so we're kind of working on because because instead of because initially I was my original website was more like a portfolio, but now that I'd like it to turn into a sort of business, now instead of having it as a gallery, there's like a section for commissions. There's a section for like an about section about the lessons that I do and the rates. Um and then there's going to be then like a separate gallery of like other like more intense art pieces that I've done for people that might want work in their homes or things like that. Um yes. And then there'll be a separate about section just about me, and then where I'm located, and then so and so and so on. Yes.
Awesome.
Um yes. So we've been working on that. I've finished my rough draft for my about sections. So, yes.
And have you still
Um
been having lessons with your student?
Yes, still ongoing. We finished the first month. I got my first check.
All right. That's good.
Yes.
Fun.
So that's been good. And but then like I also made like I told the mom like, hey, if the daughter has any other friends that might be
Oh, good.
interested in lessons, let me know. And she said, I'll see what I can find. So,
All right.
yes.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But actually, so this past week, like my student, I keep saying her name.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll cut out.
Um,
I'll bleep her name out.
Thank you.
Sound like
But
a
yes,
swear word.
my student, she probably had her strongest lesson so far,
Oh.
because we were working with color.
Oh, has she ever worked with color?
So she has worked with color,
Okay.
but mainly through painting. And she was, and I, and so this lesson, well, so she already knows already. Like I didn't have to introduce like the idea of color to her. She understood there are primary and secondary colors, what colors to mix to make what, blah blah blah. But she said that the thing that she didn't quite understand was how to blend color, and I was like, well, that's what we're doing today. So but she'd explained to me that the only other time she's blended or mixed colors before has been with paint, which has been easier for her because they're liquids and you can mix liquids relatively really easy.
Mm, mhm.
But this time I was like, "Okay, let's challenge you. Let's have you use colored pencils." And she was like, "Oh, can I use like a blending stump like you do with the graphites that we've been using?" I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 because colored pencils are not as like because graphite has right there it's easy it's they fall apart a lot easier, they kind of spread a lot easier, but color pencils are often based in oil or sort of like what crayons would be made out of. So they don't have that ability to blend. Like you can't just take your finger and blend it, right? Like you
Mm.
have to use colored pencils to blend colored pencils, is what I explained to her. And she was just like, she just did not get that. She was like, okay, wait, so what do I, how do I, what? And again, something that we had been working on before, something that she'd been struggling with a bit was touch, like her idea of touch, like how hard or how soft to
Mm.
press onto the page. Um, but when you're using colored pencils, you have to work in layers. So you have to, no matter what, you have to be coloring lightly. So this lesson in blending was not only a way to help her with blending her colors, which she did really good at, but then it helped her understand even more the importance of a lighter touch when it comes to drawing and sketching and things like that. So
And
really
she's younger,
successful.
right? So
She's 8,
s
yeah.
okay, so, like, even fine motor s she's still developing her fine motor skills
She is
too, to some
developing, but
extent.
I
I
mean,
mean,
like,
it's pretty
way
far, but
pretty far along for an 8-year-old
yeah,
still.
yeah. But that's
Um,
always I mean, when you're younger, you have less you have less idea of what, like,
right.
lighter and
Right, like,
stronger and stuff like.
she struggles a bit still with, like, coloring inside the lines kinda thing.
Oh, okay,
Right.
okay. That's still fine. Yeah,
So
that's fine motor skills too, right? Yeah.
right, yeah, but, like, she still has, like, the spatial awareness to be like, "Oh, so this is where, like, this detail will end here."
Hmm.
Right?
Mhm.
Um, like, when she's making the lines, great, but then when she's coloring the lines, then it kinda gets a little bit all over the place, because she's so excited to because it's that I feel like I understand, like, with kids, it's like, "Oh, like, I'm excited to color. Oh, I forgot there are lines there because 'cause I'm so excited to color." So, yeah.
So when, like, where, like, blends happen and stuff, you have to be able to control where on the particular thing that you're doing at, right? Is that something that she has, I mean, that, like, early students struggle with? Like, at which point to start the blend and kinda stuff like
Oh,
that?
100%, yeah. So what I usually do with that is, I'll have them draw out a bunch of little rectangles, and then I tell them, "Okay, the left end is where your first color starts. The right end is where your last color will end." Right?
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, you start with this is another thing I realized that's making teaching her my student very interesting. She's left-handed.
Oh,
So
okay.
she can't always follow exactly what I'm doing because
Oh.
at one point it will feel uncomfortable for her.
Mhm.
And because of that, I kind of have to teach her some things like in reverse, like especially when it comes to blending. Cause I'm like, oh, you go left to right. But she's like, oh no, I can't do that. That's uncomfortable. I need to do it right to left.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
Okay.
um,
Wow,
there's
fascinating.
very
Don't
fascinating. I'm like,
don't
I
you
didn't think
don't
that this would, yeah.
no, but sometimes don't you go, like, curl your hand in ways that are not. Is that not you? I'm thinking of somebody else that curls their
You're
hand
thinking
in a
of
way
someone
that.
else. That's not me.
Okay, okay. It's
No,
like it's
I always work from left to right, top to bottom.
yes. I know,
Or
you think
like
you
the
told me
top
that, but
left corner to the bottom right corner.
okay, okay.
Whereas
So
like a
you don't do
student
anything left-handed like.
no,
Okay, I think that might be my dad. Well, I think he writes in reverse or something. Somebody I
sure.
know does it backwards, something or
I
other.
don't even
Anyway.
know. Anyway, but yeah, but that's been interesting, figuring out like another way to adapt as a teacher to my students' needs. Um, but like, yeah, but, like, during this lesson especially, it was helpful not only for me, but then, like, really cool to see her growing too. Like, like, I asked her to do, like, a painting of a sunset or, like, a drawing of a sunset with
Mhm.
colored pencils, and she was like that's when she shared with me, like, "Oh, I've done this with painting, but not with colored pencil. This is way harder." So but,
So why is painting easier? What, like, explain that to me as a
so
non-artist.
pa okay, so paint so like I said, like, blending with, like,
It's
liquid-based,
yeah.
mediums is a lot
Even I could
easier.
mix things together.
You mix yeah, it naturally mixes for
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
but
yeah,
whereas with
yeah.
colored pencils, you have to work those colors and not just
Ah.
the colors, but the materials together. Oil-based or, like, just harder I guess, like, what I would call harder materials is yeah, yeah, well, like, it's tougher to, like, make those, materials work together.
Mm.
Um, whereas, yeah, with, like, anything with, like, acrylics, like watercolor, you just add water to it and then it blends for you. You don't
Mhm.
have to go back and, like, redo anything, you know? Um, but yeah, with, like, color pencils, with, like, crayons, oil pastels, those types of things, there's work that needs to be there. The layering technique that needs to go there, so
Ah, get it. I get
that's
it.
why.
Okay. That's pretty cool. So any commission work that you're working at, any or household images you're creating or anything like that?
Well, I think I talked about the last week. I've been working on the Lord of the Rings drawings for John and our little cat corner. But also, my husband is really into Halloween.
Oh, okay. That's
So much so that like the same way that one would decorate their house for Christmas, that's how
mhm.
John would decorate his house for Halloween.
Oh,
So since September is coming up, because he asked me like I think like 2 days into us like living together, and he was like, "Hey, so when do you want to start looking for Halloween decorations?" I'm like, "Holy crap, dude, what?" Um, it's still summer. Give me a second. But I told him September. That's when we could start looking. So he's been like
is
counting
there
down the
stuff
days.
out already?
What?
Is there Halloween stuff out at stores?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of stuff
Oh,
still out.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
I on Amazon, I see the projectors that, like, project, like, horror scenes into your windows and stuff like that.
So that's the kind of stuff that John wants to get. So and I'm like, "That's awesome, dude." But on my end, just so that we're not,
Oh, you
you
guys
know
have a giant window.
I know we do. We can do something with that.
You could have the whole scene
Honestly,
of the silhouetted people, like, in a ghostly party or something,
we
and
could do that.
then Kevin from Home Alone could do that in the window with the thing with all the anyway, sorry, your window you have your giant window.
We could
Anyway,
do
sorry.
something with that. I don't even know. But
Sorry.
yes. So that because we're already gonna be buying a bunch of other like decorations. I'm sure he also has his own set. Like he has his Christmas cupboard, like cardboard box, and then he has his Halloween cardboard box, which is
Ah,
arguably bigger. So
awesome.
we're gonna be we're gonna be taking those. But then I'm also gonna be like sort of like what they do with like the haunted mansion at Disneyland, right? Where they like they change some things
Oh,
to make it like adapt to like whatever season it
uh-huh.
is. So our little cat corner with all of our drawings of our cats, I'm making new ones that are the
Like the
haunted
horror
versions of
haunted
them.
version? Oh, nice. Oh my gosh, you got that's oh my gosh. That's gonna be like that's I could totally see that being like, oh, that's hilarious, and that's awesome.
Yeah. So
I could
doing
see it.
that, and then I'm also like, oh gosh, and then I feel like there are just a bunch of other, random things that I'm doing, like, he has some members of his family whose, birthdays are coming up, so I'm doing, like, little things for them, and he also, his birthday is, like, closer to Christmas, so, I'm also planning and working on a bunch of, like, nice cards for him, so
Awesome.
yes.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I like the Halloween thing.
Yeah.
That should be fun. That's it so I guess the thing is you kinda like you should have people over to enjoy it with you guys.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, have you been
So
mingling with people and
this is the thing that
meeting
John
people?
and
Go ahead.
this has kind of, become, like, a theme of John and I's marriage this week,
Okay.
because at one point I was like, because this is also the week that he went back to work officially.
Yes, right, right, right.
So, I truly got to experience, like, "Oh, wow, what do I do when he's gone?" 'Cause, like, I do plenty of stuff around the house, like, I find myself cleaning or, like, making suppers for when he's back and things like that, and I'm like, "Oh gosh, I need to socialize, what are we doing?" But, at church, there's not a lot of people our age. There are people that are around my husband's age, not really my age. So I don't Yeah. There was, like, an emotional point this week where I was like, I was just like, "I don't know where I'm gonna find this because like, because John and I were also doing some research of, like, different classes that you can take around the area. Like, lots of different galleries have, like, art classes and things like that. I'm like, yeah, but then, like, I don't wanna, like, show up there as a already pretty well-trained artist, like, just coming in and then just to be there to mingle with people, I don't know. I just find it a little bit off-putting, and I don't nec as much as I love my art, I haven't found friendships with artists to be the most, I guess helpful or positive in my life because it's all
Mm.
about okay, like, we gotta make art together, and I'm like, "I don't wanna do work to have a friendship with you," you know? So just trying to find different things. I I I I was looking at this like watercolor class though, because it seems like a bit of a more low key event rather than like a super serious one. Um, I don't know how many people my age are gonna be there, but still something to try. But yes, so I'm trying to put myself out there to find people.
One thing, my suggestion is, um, look, and if you need help, or I'm sure your pastors could help you too, but something at the seminary, volunteering there. There's lots of young families there. There's, like the Australian families there, but like you can, there's also like there's a couple there, there's some younger couples there, just, not that old, maybe just, no, there are some, married just around your age.
Mhm.
You could also help out with the kids, because there's lots of kids there and things like
Yeah.
that. So look at uh, there's a lot of people that have your same worldview and you're more likely to become friends with and feel comfortable being friends with. Because I know how you and artists go. Because like you said, the artist thing, like working there, it's like just two things, right? Just working with them to have a friend or social life kind of is weird. And then
Right.
oftentimes artists are interesting and have their own worldview and perspective on the world, which is often
Narcissistic.
quite bizarre too. Not like
It's bizarre. True.
yeah,
You know what? Bizarre.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's why I'm saying, like, maybe like try to uh, and I can ask a couple people around, or like I said, talk to your pastors, but just going to the seminary and finding some, like even volunteering at the food pantry, or or just at the coffee hour or something. Go to chapel every once in a while and say hi to somebody, the professors, or like I said, I know a number of professors there. And so it's just another avenue that you can explore that probably has a potential that you can explore for finding friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also not just, but also being of service too, helping out.
Right. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, cuz yeah, I don't really find myself like trying to find friends in like a super casual setting. I can't imagine myself just going to a bar and just being like, I just want to find friends.
Yeah.
you know.
No, but
Um
that's why I'm saying in the setting of being of service,
yeah.
volunteering at something, or there's like I'm saying, there's a lot of young families. They could probably use a babysitting. You and John could have fun with little kids and stuff like that.
Yes,
'Cause
we
you guys
could.
both like kids. I mean, you,
Yeah. Okay, but John with kids just okay, wait, sorry.
oh,
John
oh
with
no,
kids slash animals just cracks me up. I don't know. Um,
why?
'Cause I don't know. John with his nephew, his
Vinny, the
youngest
little one?
nephew,
Uh-huh.
Vincent.
Vincent.
Um, it sometimes it just tickles me a little bit because he just talks to like babies and kids just like
Like they're adults.
adults.
Good. That's not
No,
a
it's good, but it just cracks me up sometimes because he's just like, "Oh, so see what's happening is you're just reacting to something that you don't understand yet." And I'm like, "Honey." He's like like, he talks the same way like he talks to Belle. He's like, "Oh, you gonna tell me your problems or are you just gonna cry?" I'm like, "Not like that." More just like, "Oh, you're making a lot of sounds. So you got problems? You wanna just let it out?" I'm like,
yeah.
it just
That's
cracks me up
awesome.
sometimes,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Well, no,
Yeah.
but like I said, now that you have some time, that I think every once in a like good for you. Chapel, maybe go to chapel every once in a while. Probably a good thing.
Yes.
And
That'd
then
be nice, yes.
just and then I like I said, there's a number of people that would love for you to help out around there, and it's a like a couple hours of service, and so gets you out of the house, gets you around some people, but it's not necessarily, you don't have to be social if you want to, because you're just helping people. But then you might run into someone who you do have some commonality with or something.
Yeah.
It's just right.
No, I think that's a better way for me to do it because if I go in knowing that my sole intention is
To find
socializing, then
someone.
I'm just
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be
like
anxious ball.
Yeah,
right?
that doesn't work for you, no.
So,
If you're
yes,
thinking like, "Oh,
so
I gotta
no,
find
yeah,
friends or
I
something,"
think
that's why
if
the
I'm
singles
doing
event was
something
surprising.
already, or if there's yeah, if there's an event and we're all of us are collectively doing something, I'm like,
Yeah.
"Cool. I can
But
just
if but like
focus on that
but
thing,"
if the purpose is to meet people and socialize, that's not an Emmy scene. That's not an
No.
Emmy thing. But yeah, but if you just happen to talk to people and say, "Oh, that's," and then, your art will obviously come up and things like that. So, yeah. And they'll yeah, so everything else good?
Yes,
Uh,
everything else is good though.
okay.
Yes, we're very happy with our house. And tonight, another thing that's also come up in marriage talks with me and John is yes, since we're getting back into this is a bit like again only the first week that he's been going to work and all those things. Something that I because I get anxious and I look at like the bigger picture sometimes. So I'm like,
Yes.
hey, so something to maybe think about, honey, is maybe like once a week or maybe every other week, like whether it's Tuesdays where we have our movie nights or something like that. That's great, but I think it would be great to do something new, like go to a new restaurant or find a new event or activity out here to do. Because while I love our movie dates, it's at the same theater and it's like in an area that where we already know, which is good to have that consistency. But then I'd also appreciate if we had a little bit of a something extra that was a new experience for us, because that would be in new experiences, new growth for both of us, and all those things. So,
I think it'd be a good idea if you take the lead on that because you know him or what we know of him. John is very like, oh, this place works, then that's what we'll
yes.
do. It's like if it works, why break it, right? It's like
Yeah.
you
Yeah, no,
you
yeah, I've been
yeah.
doing my own research too, but,
Okay,
like,
I
yeah,
think
but then, there's also, like, the feeling of, like, okay, I understand that we're married now, and we're set, all those things, but, also as a woman, I do appreciate being taken out, and I do appreciate, him taking, like, the lead on some things, right?
yes, no, no,
So, yeah, so, like, I will, right? Like, I, of course, will, like, do my part and, like, do research and find new restaurants, and I might be the one that's like, "Hey, there's this new restaurant I would like to try. Would you please, like, take me out and, like, do that thing?" Right? Like, I'm perfectly fine with that, but, yeah, still, like, even though we're married, I love dating you too, you
okay,
know?
that's
So,
good.
yeah.
That's always a challenging thing with you and me and your mom because
Uh-oh.
mom. Well, this has always been the case. Is I used to try to, like, like I used to plan dates or plan a place to go, and then like, oh, we're going here, and then mom would always go, I don't really feel like that. Like when we're leaving for the thing, we're like about to go somewhere. She's like, oh, I'd rather go to something, and then that's why, I think there's it. Part of it is like it's easier for me, and so I don't push it, but and also yeah, it's like I kind of I should push myself forward more and say, "Well, let's go do this, mom," or something like that. But it's we've gone back. The pattern is so ingrained that it's like I don't really know what mom's gonna want to do on that particular day because mom
Right.
from time from moment to moment, mom may have she's like, "Oh, I don't feel like that anymore," kind of
Yes.
whatever it was going to be, and so I'm like, it doesn't bother me, and so you know how I am. I'm just like whatever. I'm fine with anything. And so then that's why I always defer to her, which is not always a great thing. Like you're saying, it's like,
Right.
you would like your husband to take the lead and take you someplace in
Yeah.
specific. But like I said, I'm so used to mom going, well, I don't really want to go there. So I'm like, I'm scarred and I like go, okay,
Oh,
wherever you
you're
want to go, mom, I'm
scarred.
happy.
Oh, no. Poor
Not,
dad.
not, no, not trauma, but
Oh, no, yeah. No, you're not triggered.
it's just that it's like I've fallen into that rut, I guess I would say. It's more,
Yeah.
something
Oh,
I shouldn't
that's
always do, but I do.
yeah. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, and as a woman,
Yeah.
I can understand the whole. Well, I don't know, like because like right, like because I can understand maybe like. I also know my mom, so I can understand maybe in the moment being like, "Oh wow, he's planning something. She's planning something. This is awesome. Okay, of course I'm gonna say yes because." But then like, when it's actually happening in the moment, she goes, "Oh, wait, I'm actually thinking about this. Oh, wait, actually, I don't think this is something that I'm actually gonna enjoy, but I did say yes to this. Ooh, how do I say this without, like," so I can I can empathize. I can
Okay.
understand
Oh,
where that's coming from. Um,
fantastic. That doesn't help me though, but
hey, you know what? There
but
you go. That's another social thing we can talk about. Hey, because people always say like you should have empathy. I'm like, okay, that still doesn't solve the problem. Thanks for caring, but you're not doing anything about it.
well, yeah, that's why there's a whole book. I think I even have it. It's Against Empathy.
Yes.
Because
I remember
Dad,
you showed me
that's
that
a
book.
yeah,
You
that's the
showed me
kind of
the
book
cover
Dad
of
would
that, and I
have.
was
It's
like,
like,
"This is the most dad book I've ever seen in my life." But now, but I understand.
oh, dude, I was listening to
Oh,
what was I listening to?
what were
And
you listening
I
to?
forget. Oh, what was I don't know. It was something. And then they were like, they had the same thing. They were talking about um emotions. And then it's like they were like they had the same thing. They said you can have them, but you don't have to act on them. And I told you that's me, right? Like I have. You always say you don't have emotion. No, I have them. I just do not. I choose not to indulge in them. Right? That's your dad. It's like
And that's
I
the
have
sentence
them.
that makes all the women mad.
I have the emotions. I just like okay. I just don't choose to do anything with them. Like I do not choose to respond based on them.
Yes. All right, this is a great segue. So how's the engineer doing?
Oh, the engineer, still like, the at work, the work. There, it's
No,
still
work.
weird because, I'm on this project that it seems to spin and spin and spin, and like there's these like super high level people that are like, why isn't it moving anywhere? And we're like, well, we keep talking to them, and this the other company is really dragging their feet. And actually, at this point, everybody knows it's the other company that's just dragging their feet,
Oh,
and so like we're not getting blamed for anything, but we keep telling them, you know, if they
you're the
stop drag,
problem.
no, well, we tell our bosses, look, even if they start going, the amount of time you've given us now is the window is really small. So I don't know if we can do all that you've asked for because it's been 3 weeks or 4 weeks since we're supposed to get started. And now you're telling us that, you're going to like at some point they're going to say, oh, they're going to give us the help we need. And then you can't expect us just to turn, once we get the help, it's all going to be done. The timelines are all shot now. But anyway, who knows if they ever think properly about those things. People just see dollar signs and that's how
Yeah.
companies work. But everything's good. We got we did we I was helping a bunch of people do stuff this week, so I felt like I did something.
Oh,
That's
yay, you
that,
felt accomplished this week.
yeah, because I was helping people. That's the best part of my job is helping
Yeah.
people. Um, Doing a bunch of stuff with AI, just trying to experiment with it. It still doesn't work right and gets confused all the time with programming stuff. But it's something that I need to keep on top of because
Yeah.
our bosses keep asking, "Are you guys trying it? Are you experimenting with it?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
well, even if you can't tell them that you can't tell them it doesn't work. You just have to say you have to keep trying it and say this is where it works and this is where it doesn't work. I learned that this is a lot of my job as a senior engineer now is to like don't give them the answer that things don't work. Just
Right.
tell them the things where it does work, and then tell them where it doesn't work, and what we should try going forward. It's a pain in the butt. It's like this doesn't work. I'll tell you when it does. That's not an answer.
That's so
I don't
funny.
like that answer. Uh So,
Ah,
engineering wise, and then I've been doing a bunch of recording of podcasts and editing of podcasts. It's been great.
yeah.
I've been doing lots of reels and shorts and posting those things. I've been doing a lot of Facebook thingies and like
Whoa.
yeah, it's all those. I got
My
all kinds of
dad's
stuff going
active
on.
on social media.
Yeah, it's quite terrifying. And really, I know it is absolutely true. X is the worst. It is
Oh
like the
gosh,
worst.
what
It
even
is the
is that?
it
Oh,
is the
John's on
worst.
that thing, and then, like, sometimes he'll come up to me and he'll be like, "This is some stupid stuff." I'm like, "Then get off of it. What are you
Yeah, it's
doing?"
really dumb. It's really bad. Just people like so I had a post on X and my
You
post
have
was that um it was basically that um X is like like an aspect of autism. It's like everyone on there thinks that everyone thinks the same, knows everything that they do and has the same motives that they do, and like they just don't recognize that people are different from them. They think everyone thinks is like them, and if they're not, and like it's just a, it's like cause like when your sister was young, right?
Yeah.
Right? She will like just not recognize that people didn't know or think the exact same things that she had in her head. And
Yeah.
that they, right? But that's how everyone on X is. They think that everyone else is, or at least if they don't, they shouldn't, or they, or something like that. But everyone should think like I do. And if you don't understand where I'm coming from, then you're wrong. Or, or you just don't, yeah. It's just a mess.
Dad,
It's
are you
just
saying that
really,
social media makes people autistic?
well, I don't, I'm not saying it makes them, but
No,
there's,
I'm
no, I
kidding.
know you're not
Yeah.
saying that, but it it is like the interaction is like on spectrum, especially X anyway.
Oh,
The
well, yeah.
interaction is totally on spectrum. I think some of the other ones don't have that problem because they're more emotionally based, right? Because
Right.
like the TikTok thing and Instagram and all those are all emotional. And so they have their own problem because it's like overly you're rewarded for over emotional irrational behavior.
Yeah.
So right, that's and or, so that's the problem with those. But Twitter is text based, and so it's all argumentative, and
Right, and
so
then it's presumptuous.
and presumptuous. Yes, and so you have it. It just feels like like an aspect of autism. And I say this out of the understanding that when I was little, I had the same issues. Like you're like they used to remember. I've always told you guys they thought I was the old way retarded. I was like that was my kindergarten.
Because they did the test on you.
Then
What
I
was
couldn't
it?
follow the ball.
You
The
couldn't
red
follow the
ball.
ball because
Yeah.
no, but it wasn't because you couldn't, you were just like, "Why am I following the
Yeah.
that's
Well, that's
stupid.
probably
Why would
why.
she make me do this?"
Yeah, but I couldn't. So then that led to some like lack of
Some
focus or
speculation of what's
something, and
going
it's
on
a.
in your
But then,
brain.
but when I was younger, I used to always get mad at my mom and dad and my family because they didn't understand what I was trying to tell them about something, and it was because I was not in my head not aware that they didn't know everything that or understood everything that I understood, right? Because dad is like thinks in weird ways sometimes, and my assumption was that they were thinking the same way. Well, that's all of X. It's like I have all these thoughts in my head. Don't you know them all and understand the context where I'm coming from? That's what it and it's like I said, since it's textual and and thinking based and not emotional based, then it just feels like autism. That's what X feels like to me.
Is this your coming out pod, Dad? Is this your coming out as autistic officially?
Well, no, I would never say that because I don't have a diagnosis, nor you know, and
I think it's
especially because your sister is diagnosed on spectrum.
yeah.
Like
And I don't
you
think,
would never.
I think, I don't think you getting a diagnosis isn't really gonna do anything because you're already you're cemented
I
as who
am,
you
yes,
are. There's
and
no
it's not gonna.
changing this.
No, EIP or something would help me. IEP, sorry,
Oh, yeah. This is
sorry, I
lit.
don't know where this was. Well,
I
it's
don't know
all
either.
because of
It
it's all
turned
because of
into
X.
from
X.
a rant on about X to my dad's autistic, but there's no
But then,
diagnosis.
that's the thing though. On all these social media platforms, people would say, "Oh, I'm autistic," and when they
Oh,
don't have a
oh, well, okay,
diagnosis and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff, right? They don't.
But, like, with
I
you,
have
it's
80.
different
Everyone
because
has
it's like
ADHD because they say they do, and all that kind of
yeah, but,
stuff.
like, with you, it's like there's the proof is in the pudding, it's just you. It's like there's no then we you don't need a diagnosis. We know. We
Yeah,
know.
Dad. Yeah.
But
Well,
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry. You used to suffer through this when you were little because I assumed you guys would know how to do things.
Yeah, and that really
It was not a good
that did
recipe
something
for
to our
child
development.
behavior.
I don't know what it did. It wasn't
Wasn't always good, but you
but then,
guys
like
survived, Dad.
but what it was, you would assume that we would know, and then we didn't, and then it would turn into, "Oh, he's mad at us for not knowing, but he didn't teach us this, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this." So, I don't know, I think it was just confusion for me. I think it was just confused growing up.
Well, I am sorry. As I should. I apologize for all the trauma,
Eh,
or not trauma,
I
but all
turned
the
out
weirdness.
I'd say, "Hey, you know what? We
You have
turned out great." And
you have
if it's
empathy for me now. See, now you know, and you understand my weird humor and stuff like that
I
because of
do.
this.
It's fun. No, I think what it is, like, as a kid, you view your parent as right, like, the parent, and that's an adult, and that's scary. And
And
you were a
dad.
scary adult dad, so I was just scared and freaked out and confused. And then, like, I've grown older, and I've matured, and I've interacted with different people, and I've learned how to understand people. And then as an adult, I'm still your daughter, but I'm your adult daughter, and I recognize you as my adult father. I'm like, "Oh, but I understand him because he's like, because I can understand how someone like him would become who he is." So, I have empathy.
Oh my gosh! But I'm glad. I'm yes. I'm
But, like,
fortunate that you've
but if
got
I
to the
didn't have
place where.
empathy for you, we wouldn't have a podcast.
Well, yeah. But I'm fortunate that we. I think my greatest strength in raising the both of you is that I've always talked to you about stuff, both of you.
That and you always made us think.
Well, that yes, that yeah, yeah, that's those two are my most important things. But in in the context of us and of our relationship,
Yes.
in general, yes, my most important thing for both of you was that you both think. Right, that was always like you should think. What is this going? Like cause and effect, consequences, all those kind of things. That's right.
Yes.
That's like that. But like in terms of our relationship, th- just talking about everything. Like, how
Yes.
often did we watching a movie, stop the movie in the middle of the movie and start talking, right? That's like, like that's
Oh, yeah, that
your
was
childhood was stopped stopped shows and talking about the show, right?
I
That's your
will say
child.
okay, I actually have a really funny story about that, Dad. So, you would like, growing up, like, we would do that, like,
Yeah.
from as young as my memory goes back,
Yes.
we've been doing
Yes.
that, right?
Yes.
Dad, I don't think I've ever told you the story. The first time I ever went over to somebody's house, like one of my classmates' I think it was like for like a Girl Scouts thing or something, and we were watching a movie, and I was like, "No one's pausing this movie. This is weird. We're not talking about this movie. What's going on? Can we pause to talk about this, guys? What's going on? Oh, that's not what everyone does. Okay." Dad, I think you normalized that for me so much that I was like, I just expected, like, movies to just randomly pause, and then someone would talk to me about it. I was just like, "It's not happening. Is this a movie? What's going on?"
Oh. Wow. Okay, that is really interesting that it normalized it for you because
It really did. I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna just," but then, like, it eventually happened, like, I would go to people's houses, we would be playing movies, and then eventually turned into, "Oh, this is just my dad. Okay, got it. This is just my dad and his dad stuff. Okay."
but like I said, that just laid the foundation for always talking about stuff, and
Yes.
we could talk about whatever. Didn't matter what the subject was. We would talk about it.
Yes.
Awesome. That's what the engineer has. I'm glad. Actually, I was. This was even better. Just talking about how you were raised and dad's foibles and stuff. That's fine. It's all
I
good.
don't even know how we got here, but we got
No.
here.
But so now on to you have pop culture this week.
I do have pop culture,
What is your
and
pop
so
culture?
the theme is rage bait.
Rage bait. Okay. That's all of X.
Well, yeah, like, it was
Largely.
already pretty topical with X. Honestly, we could have just that's why it would have been a great transition, but then we moved on to dadisms. But but,
That is rage bait on X. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, but rage bait, often shown up in pop culture I have 2 examples. So
Okay.
Reddit and
Reddit.
actually, it's technically 3, but Reddit and true crime podcasts, those types of
Okay.
things. They kinda go into one, and then the other one, reality TV.
Okay. So that's interesting. You're a Reddit or you watch shows about Reddit
I'm not an actual
subreddits.
Redditor. My husband and his friends may, are like, frequent Reddit and things like that, but I don't
Okay.
actually go on the site. I just hear about Reddit or stories posted onto Reddit via other, sources.
Yeah. Like I know there's some like you've shown me podcasts that talk about subreddits and things like that and things like
Yes.
and then what was the other thing you just said? Reddit
And
and
true crime.
true crime. How does it so how does true crime rage bait? That's an okay. I have an example, I think, but go ahead. I wanna understand what
Yeah,
true crime
so
does to
so
rage bait.
okay, so true crime in the rage baiting, it's like, so part of it, what it is like it's romanticizing a story. It's taking somebody else's story or something like really terrible that happened to somebody else, and then using that as content for whatever purpose you want your content to have. Um, and then so in that there is inherently a rage bait attached to that of like this is not your story. You shouldn't be sharing this. And like, and this is, and you're just doing your makeup, like, doing like talking about people getting killed, like all these things. Like, there's something already inherently rage baity about that. But then there's like the added sort of meta layer of rage bait where it's like, I'm getting you mad about this thing, but this is something that happened like 50 years ago, or this is something that happened like 30 years ago or whatever, and this person's in jail right now, or they're like, or they've already been executed in jail or something. So there's like there's I've described it more as a like a parasocial rage baitiness kind of attached to that. Um
So
and yeah, and I already have as I mentioned, there's already an issue with like yeah, taking like something that like really terrible that happened, but then like rebranding it and so almost lessening the impact of that by turning it into like a oh funny little story time while I'm doing my makeup. Um,
uh,
yeah,
okay. So
so that's
I heard one recently that I know of when I was growing up. So it's have you heard of the Menendez brothers?
oh gosh, yes,
Okay. So there's all kinds of like I don't know, was it a Netflix or was it a podcast or something?
Netflix
Like
documentary and other
there's
they've had stuff, yes,
okay. So there's a whole thing on them like being like trying to play them as victim of their parents or something, and stuff like that, right? Of abuse and some blah blah, like even sexual abuse. I don't even know
yeah,
what
yeah,
it,
yeah,
all the things. But this was 30 something years ago when I was young and stuff. And so this was like this was a clear cut case of two spoiled brats who wanted their parents' money. It was obvious, and it's like there was nothing, even any kind of abuse that the parents made, like verbal abuse or whatever abuse. There was no way that it was anything. There was no justifiable. They weren't protecting themselves. It was not
no.
self defense. It was not. It was like they
Yeah,
were
and
adults.
even even hearing about it like through the news if you had followed the case, right? Like what did they do after? They didn't even first of all they didn't even bother going to the funeral, I don't
No.
think.
Yeah.
And then they went ahead and started going like on a crazy spree, just money spending spree.
Yes, yes. And so this whole thing that they're trying to be victims of something is like this is like and they get sympathy from a whole new generation that has no context to any of this. And like they try to this is where all of those ones fall down for me is like in the you're trying to spin the 20-year-old facts, even the first one, from Serial and that Anon whatever dude. It's like it's 20 years later, you're trying to spin it in a certain way. You're so far away from the actual events. That person and everyone around it can change the way that they frame it to make themselves sympathetic. It's like,
Yep.
no, you're not. But they can, it's been so long that they've talked it through in their head to make themselves the victim.
It's
Go
like
ahead.
okay, cause so the guy who did like the not so much of like a documentary, but almost like a recreation, like using just different actors of like the Menendez brothers story.
Uh
And
huh.
I put that in quotes because it's clearly biased.
Uh huh.
Um, but it like that was the same dude who did the Dahmer,
Oh,
series,
okay.
right? And then clearly, I'm just I don't think this is factual necessarily, but I just feel like this all stemmed from after they released the Joker movie.
Oh,
Like they
okay.
made the Joker movie, they were like, and then they also made Cruella, right?
Yeah,
Like
all the
they started
anti-heroes
making
and stuff
movies
like
like and I feel like it started even way before that with like
Maleficent.
Maleficent, but
Yeah.
they did Maleficent fine,
Uh-huh.
whatever. But then it turned into we're now we're justifying now we're showing how we justify all the terrible things that these people did in their villain stories, and it's all fake, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But then people took that and were like, "What if we did that in real life?" And that's where you get Dahmer, and then that's where you get Menendez brothers, and I totally hear you, like, you also brought up a great point. There's a whole generation of people that miss this, that have no idea how this happened, but they're gonna take this and go, "Yep, that happened."
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it is.
So, rage
I guess
bait.
it is rage. Yeah, I was gonna say that's exactly it is
This is
rage
what
bait
this
to the
is,
people who were
yes.
there, like, or the people who like what? Why are you so dumb?
Why are you so
Right? Rage bait is
You
like
weren't there, what are you
why are you
doing?
so you're
And
gullible?
also,
You're
why
like
are you so invested in this thing?
yes. Oh, that too. Yes.
It doesn't affect you at all.
Why? Yeah. Yeah.
Rage bait.
Oh, I'm sure there's yeah. And I'm sure there's people writing letter campaigns and like
Oh
sending to their
gosh.
GoFundMe and blah blah whatever things.
Embarrassing, honestly. No.
Okay, so how does this apply to reality TV? I
Sorry.
mean, reality TVs could be all rage bait too.
Okay, well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, okay, so again, because we're getting so we got into like the whole okay, there's the directors that do this and do that and blah blah blah. Reality shows, they have editors.
Oh yeah, yeah. This was from the very beginning. Like the like even the first Survivor was the original one, and it was
Yes.
like they turned people into characters. Right? You
Yes.
needed the good guy. But
Because
in the real life of the show, it was like way different. But like you have to have characters. There,
right,
someone
you
can't
need
be
to
just a
have the
person. They have
dumb
to,
and fumbling guy. You need to
yeah.
have like, like
The
oh, oh,
smooth operator, the guy with all the
yeah,
angles, and
and
then
then the dude that's just, like, actually, like, deranged, you know? Like, you need people to, like, hate on or, like, you need people to
yeah.
root for and all those things, but when it's real life and those portrayals could actually affect those people personally,
But
no.
I have a question. Do sometimes people try to be those characters in reality shows?
Well, and then there's that whole other meta layer of, like, yeah, then, like, but then it questions the people who actually sign up to go on those shows, so it's like,
Oh
are you actually
yeah,
there for, like, what the show like, what
yeah.
positives the show could bring you, or are you just there for the attention and for the fame and, like, whatever it is?
Oh yeah. So that
Rage
yeah,
bait!
that's all right. And then they drop the hint that the person is there for the wrong reasons, and then they make the person who was kind of there for the right reasons, they make them like the victim of the person, and then there's more rage bait, right?
But yeah, but
But
and again,
nobody's really
like
not
you
there
just
for
said,
nothing,
they
you know.
make it look like we don't actually know what happened. That's the stupidest thing about reality TV. You don't actually know what happened. Same thing with like the true crime. You weren't actually there. This doesn't affect you.
Yeah. Like there
Yeah.
was like in the true crime ones, there are actual criminal, trials. So there's
Yes.
a high standard of what's, like of what evidence is and what testimonies are valid and all those kind. So just having your podcast does not tell you everything. You have like there's actual like there's that a trial is not just a podcast where people just get to say what they want and their things. It's like there's a standard of evidence that you have to prove things.
Oh my
So like
gosh.
the fact that you don't quite that your podcast shows one thing does not mean that that's really what happened.
That's just your bias showing.
Yeah.
Also, you're sniffing too much of that perfume that you're spraying on while you're filming this. My gosh, I can't. It's so bad. See, the rage bait is working. We're getting worked up about
Yeah,
this,
that's true.
right?
We were rage baited.
We fell into it.
Yeah,
But no, but I think it's also important to bring up, like, as you mentioned earlier, I do enjoy, like, listening to, like, some Reddit stories or, like, Reddit podcasts, like, those are kind of everywhere. I do enjoy watching my dating reality TV shows, like Love is Blind. I mean, I'm sure you've seen Mom watch it too.
yes.
And yeah, like, if, like something that my mom and I talked about is, yeah, like, the thing is that we don't watch it because we believe in any of it. We're watching it because we know that it's dumb and it's edited, and none of these people if you just go into the thing of, like, no one's actually real, we don't actually know who these people are, then you can be like, "Haha, this is hilarious. I like watching this." Yeah, and as long as you're not getting so invested that you're like, "I'm gonna go and dox these people," or something crazy, right? I think that there's a healthy way to enjoy it, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I
That
will
that
never
makes
watch a true
sense.
crime podcast, that's awful, I don't wanna support people that, like weren't there, weren't even born when these things happen, and are just doing it just for like money or to buy more products so they can buy all their fancy sets and it just ugh, ugh, and tell a story like again romanticize it and like add so much bias when it's like you can look online and like you can see all the trials of the things that actually happen. I don't have to watch a person putting on their highlighter for like 50 minutes, you know? Sorry. But again, I think there's a healthy way to enjoy it without falling into the rage bait is what I'm saying. That's
Okay.
my defense as to why I feel like I can watch these things and I'm not falling into it. So,
Your conclusion that is that it is possible to avoid the rage bait and enjoy it as
yes.
entertainment.
But in
Oh,
order to avoid something, you need to be aware of it.
there you go.
Yes.
My conclusion is that like I get sucked into rage bait because I'm just mad at the illogic of people. So that's why I have to avoid it. And that's why I often have to leave X for months at a time
Oh,
because I'm
yeah.
like, this is so why do people do this?
This
This
is
is
so
dumb.
dumb.
But I have to be so that's the thing. I have to be on the social medias to to like um to get engagement for the podcast and things like that. No,
Yeah,
I have
you
to,
do, Dad.
I want the like the things that the podcasts and stuff are fun, entertaining, and I think informative, and so that's why I want them to be like heard.
You gotta
But
get the clicks, man.
so I like and subscribe.
Well, link in bio.
Sorry, but no, I mean it's a weird thing because social media is like is the only way to get stuff out there at this point.
Yeah,
Is and so you have to avoid the the landmines of rage bait to 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 get your the word out there or whatever you're trying to promote.
correct.
It's exhausting.
But we persist.
But we persist. There you go. All right. Anything else to close it up?
I think we've said all we can say. This is a great episode, Dad. I can feel the clicks.
I'm gonna rage bait somebody.
Oh man, no. Our the cover of it needs to be a rage baby. No. No, it's just clipping out the thing of you saying retarded.
That will get me canceled. I don't know if we need to do
Okay,
that
no,
straight.
we don't want cancelable. We just need enough rage to get
Yeah.
people to click on it. Not enough rage that people go, "Oh no, bye."
Twitter is autistic.
Okay, there you go. And it's like, what is this about? Is he calling his daughter autistic? What's going on?
Oh, this is oh my gosh.
Ugh. We're having fun. We're having fun.
Yes, we are. All right, dear. I love you. Thank you so much for doing this. I have so much fun.
I always have fun doing this with you, Dad. Thank you. I love you.